So picture this. John Wilkes Booth shoots Abraham Lincoln, jumps from the stage, sic semper tyrannis, he hollers, breaks a leg as he jumps off into the stage, escapes through the back of Ford's Theater, gets on a waiting horse, and hightails it down the alleyway, making his next stop a possible co-conspirator's house, the one, the only, Mary Surratt. Get him, Frank, get him.
Wow, he went that way.
Good morning. Well, Frank and I just finished up with breakfast, headed south out of D.C., following the path of John Wilkes Booth. After the assassination of Abraham Lincoln, John Wilkes Booth would have traveled south out of D.C., met up with his partner, David Harold, and they would have stopped here at the Surratt Tavern, owned by one Mary Surratt. He was linking up here to get some supplies, guns, and place opens up at 11. It's about 10 o'clock now. So unfortunately, I don't think I'll be able to get in the house or be on a tour. I am going to knock on the door and make some noise. There is some people here. Maybe I can do something early, but I doubt it. But that's fine. I got other things to do, other places to go. So I just wanted to come here. It's something I always wanted to see, always wanted to do. So we're doing it. I'm actually really kind of bummed that I won't be able to get in the house. And it's about a 30-minute drive. Actually, it was probably less than that, 20-something minute drive to get here from D.C., which you can only imagine. We discussed it on the way here, the pain and the trouble it must have been to get here. It serves them right, the some bitch. Here we got peeking in the windows here. Probably the closest thing we'll get to a tour today. Now, if you noticed on that sign, it said that after Booth and Harold picked up their guns and supplies here, that they then proceeded to the house of Dr. Samuel Mudd, who set Booth's leg after breaking it, jumping onto the stage at Ford's Theater. So from here, we will be heading down to Dr. Mudd's house next. I'm still going to bang on the door, hopefully get in. But if not, next stop is Dr. Mudd's. Well, this is even more unfortunate, but back there is the home of Dr. Samuel Mudd. But the gate is closed. I don't think they open until about noon, so we are really ahead of the schedule here. But after leaving the Surratt house, Booth and Harold would have made their way over here, where Dr. Mudd would have fixed his leg, allowed him to stay, him and Harold to stay. Following morning, Dr. Mudd would go into town, learn of the assassination, come back to his house, and kick him the hell out of his house. Didn't want any part of it. But doesn't report it to the authorities for almost 24 hours later. On top of changing his story during interrogation, led to him being charged and convicted of the assassination of Abraham Lincoln, where he'd be sentenced to life in prison, narrowly missing execution by only one vote, go serve his time in prison, but only 4 years later is pardoned by President Johnson. Now, his family, for a number of years, tried to have his record expunged, but without success. So did Dr. Mudd, did he know about the assassination?
He
and
knew.
Actively knew? Frank believes he did.
Oh, he knew.
I think the debate is out. It's the same thing with Mary Surratt.
Oh, she knew too.
Did she know, or was it just her son? So, this is really unfortunate. I really wanted to get up there, but not going to happen.
We're not hopping the fence today, John. He was going to do it.
I was not. But there's some signs here. I'm going to take a look at some of these signs, and then we're going to get back on the road and to our next location, which is a bit more of a drive, but our next location,
To be determined.
well,
We already told him.
it's probably going to be Harpers Ferry.
Probably.
Another location that I've been wanting to go to for years, never have. Thanks to my partner here,
Traveling companion.
who has the same interest as me, can make it happen. All right, let's look at some signs, get back in the car. Next time I see you, should be Harpers Ferry.
Deuces.
I will say one more thing, and that is we very much could continue to travel along the path of John Wilkes Booth. There isn't really much to see after Dr. Mudd's. I think there's another house and maybe a pasture and some pieces of wood of where Booth would ultimately be killed. But Booth was killed, I think, about 10 days later from the time of Dr. Mudd's. And if I had more time and this is all we were doing on this trip, I certainly would. Maybe even go up to Booth's unmarked grave out in Baltimore. He's buried unmarked in his family plot. But I guess that's it. Enough with John Wilkes Booth on the Harpers Ferry.
Deuces.
Thanks, Frank.
You're welcome, John.
All right. We made it to Harpers Ferry. Probably about
every other person in West Virginia.
Probably about 20 minutes ago, but it took us that long to find a parking space.
Which
But
means
it is beautiful down here. So I'm excited to do some walking around, but I didn't do any research in the Harpers Ferry, so I need to find a pamphlet or something on where to go. And I got some good recommendations by a guy by the name of, what, Sickles, the ghost of Sickles' leg, which is a great name, by the way.
Sickles was the man.
He recommended we go for a hike. That's not going to happen. Our feet are hurting too much. But we are going to check out the town. I just wish I knew more info on the area. So we need to find out that first and then scoot around. All right, first little place we came into looks like a little placard museum for Lewis and Clark. Not to be confused with my 2-times grandfather, whose name was Clark, who had a brother named Lewis. Just coincidence. But Lewis did fight at the Battle of Gettysburg under General Sickles. All right.
See? Sickles was the man. Telling you.
Got the Whitehall Tavern. As Frank and I continue to mosey around, not knowing where to go, saw a sign for the John Brown Museum. So we'll go ahead and come on in here, learn about John Brown.
Yeah. John Brown.
That's probably what makes Harpers Ferry
The most famous?
the most famous, possibly. Debatable.
We'll see.
All right.
Institution of slavery. Winding like a life, slaves, dreamers, and freedom. They come from all walks of life. As autumn chilled the Potomac Valley, the raiders prepared for their mission. The time was at hand. Time to stand up and be counted.
Green, here. John Kagi, present, Captain. William Thompson, here, sir.
On October 16th, the cold, rainy Sunday night, Captain Brown reviews his troops.
Men, get on your arms. We will proceed.
All right, coming out of that little museum, kind of interesting. Now I know a little about the raid of John Brown. One thing I did learn is that Lee and Jeb Stuart were in charge of the Army, Marines that stopped the raid. So that was interesting. A little name dropping.
Yeah, I thought Lieutenant Jeb Stewart and Lieutenant Colonel Robert E. Lee.
So across the street would be the firehouse. Now I don't believe this is where it actually was, but this is where they moved it to. And this is where this building, not the location perhaps, but this is the building that was the last stand of John Brown. So we're gonna go across the street, check that out. I do have to say that Harpers Ferry is more beautiful than I thought it'd be. I mean, it is absolutely gorgeous out here. And again, unfortunately, I don't have a lot of time here today. You could probably do a weekend, maybe more here. And I'm trying to do it in about 2 hours. So as much as I'd like to do the walks and the hikes and all that, we got to get moving. Lots to see and not a lot of time to see it in. But boy, it is nice. All right, after speaking to a guide and looking at this photo again, this photo was actually taken on the second floor of a warehouse right around here. And if you can see this obelisk right there, that is the actual site of that. And so if looking at that picture, you'd have the firehouse, and then the last stand of John Brown, and then a series of buildings. So he also gave us some pointers on what to do and how to spend an hour here, which is very hard to do, but we are going to try. So we're going to continue on with his recommendations.
So he did say that if you pan down this road here, that as long as this road is, but to the right of that road was how long the rows of buildings were for the armory. And there was 2 rows to the right, as long as this road, just to give you an idea of how big the armory down here was.
And so we got up here, we got the obelisk. We're gonna stop, we'll go up there on our way back down to the car. Look at this town. This is right up my alley. You know, I built my saloon. I had to build my little half-assed town in the garage. I wonder if my wife would be opposed if I built something like this, full scale in my backyard. How many dogs would I have to get her?
Maybe a goat.
Maybe a goat.
She wants a goat or 2.
If she lets me put this in the backyard, I'll get her 2 goats. All right, we got some bookstores and whatnot. So, all right, keep on wandering. Well, quick stop into a gift shop. AC felt nice. Now, I usually would buy a coffee mug, but like I showed you, those were my choices, and they weren't the nicest of designs. So I'm gonna pass on the coffee mug unless I find one that looks better than that. But, all right, moving on in our very short stay here in Harpers Ferry. All right, now we're gonna make our way up High Street, named for obvious reasons, I'm sure. But supposedly there is a museum dedicated to the 1862 battle. So we're gonna go and find that and check that out. Coming into the museum dedicated to the Battle of Harpers Ferry here in 1862, placed within a very old house. Bobby Lee. Not the biggest of museums, but no less informative. You just need to read more, which is fine. Well, that was a nice little museum. Brought in the ties of Harpers Ferry into Antietam, then of course into Gettysburg. So it's very cool to unravel the twine that is the Civil War and the who's who.
And the geographical locations, and
Just
it's just
very interesting
very
if you're
fascinating.
into that kind of thing. Here we have where the firehouse would have been. Building right down there. Now keep in mind, we are way higher than it would have been. This is a man-made berm that was put here much later on. You see here, this is probably more accurate depiction of the ground level and how much higher this berm is. But these locations right here would be the armory going all the way down across the riverbank. So just very, very cool.
Really cool. Excuse me, sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
But that is probably going to conclude our time here, unfortunately. It's just not enough time, and we need to get to Gettysburg.
Get a tea time tomorrow.
Yeah, we have to get our place where we're staying tonight. Gonna have to do some grocery shopping. So
Stop at Sweeney Tavern.
hopefully
We gotta
somebody check the Sweeney Tavern, see if they're open
We gotta
late
make,
Sunday night.
Got to make dinner plans. What are we doing for dinner? So we got to. That's important.
Oh, I can make you dinner, Frank.
You making me dinner tonight, John?
I can make you dinner.
All right. Well, you're making me dinner then.
We'll see.
All right.
Might be deli meats.
That doesn't count.
Make you a nice sandwich. All right.
All right.
But for right now, unfortunately, we are getting in the car.
Get out of here.
We're leaving. We got about an hour plus
Really
or minus.
worth a stop. If you're in the area, you have
Oh,
a
it's
couple
beautiful.
hours, or if you even want to come and stay.
Harpers
you
Ferry.
know,
Beautiful, beautiful.
Overnight. Look, this is just. It's a shame we gotta get out of
Yeah.
here. Maybe we'll come back.
Yeah, maybe we'll come back.
All right.
But right now, we're leaving. See you in Gettysburg. Bye. Well, we're catching a little bit of traffic trying to get out of Harpers Ferry. Frank spotted ice cream, so naturally he had to stop. But right over here caught my interest. This is kind of cool.
Here we are at Between the Hills LSC on the side of West Virginia route. Well, now we're in Virginia. 340 headed north, and look what I found. So what we have here is a root beer float. We have root beer, Italian ice, vanilla gelato, and with root beer Italian ice at the bottom. Amazing.
I bought myself a bonsai tree. All right. Made it to Gettysburg. I rented a house this time. Give Frank a little bit more privacy, give us a lot more room, the ability to do some cooking ourselves. So I'll take you in the house, show you where we're going to be staying for the next few nights. It's pretty nice. So let me go ahead and give you the tour. So right there, we're parked right behind that fence. Nice little backyard coming onto a little porch. We'll come in through the back door into a nice little sitting area. This will be my room. It's pretty nice. And then we'll go through the kitchen. Pretty much everything we need. Into the dining room. And then from here, we'll go into the little study or parlor or whatever you want to call it. And then out into the living room. This door here separates into the common area with the front door and then the stairs that would go up to the top floor apartment. I don't believe anybody's renting the top floor, so it looks like we have the house to ourselves. Then through here, we got the bathroom. Shower, sink, washer, dryer, toilet. Down through here. Frank's room.
Woo-woo!
He's already moving in.
Setting up.
You like the house, Frank?
Oh my God, Johnny. Perfect.
All right, glad you like it. And that's the house tour. So there it is. This is pretty nice. Beats a hotel room. So from here, Frank and I got to go to the grocery store, pick up some groceries, and because I think we're gonna do a lot of our own cooking this trip, save some money instead of eating out. We'll make our own food. So we're gonna go to the grocery store, come back, unpack. Maybe I'll make some dinner tonight, and then I don't know, possibly maybe end up at the Sweeney Tavern tonight. It's probably gonna happen. So, all right, from here, grocery store. All right. In Gettysburg, got the house. Now we gotta do some grocery shopping. Figure out what we're gonna do for food.
Steak and taters.
I think maybe I'll make some Chinese tonight.
Really? You're gonna do all that cooking? Why don't we just do simple steaks? Get a couple fillets, get some twice baked potatoes, fucking
Stir fry, man. Stir fry's quick.
Yeah, but quick, but you got all the shit. Okay, whatever.
We'll see. We'll see what they got. We'll see what they got. All right. Groceries are bought. Got dinner on. That's about it. Gonna make Frank a good dinner. And then from there, I don't know. So we'll figure that out once we get there. So, all right. Let me get dinner on the table. All right. Done slaving over the oven for Frank. And look at the masterpiece I made him. Now, I am no Asian chef, but Yan can cook. Look at that. A little homemade kung pao chicken. Let's go, Frank. Time to eat.
Let's eat. I must say, Johnny, you have outdone yourself.
Our first meal in our new home. Alright, just finished up dinner. Now we're just sitting on the back porch. I might head over to the Sweeney Tavern here in a bit. But one thing this house doesn't have is Ziploc bags or anything for leftovers. So we might have to go back to the store for that. But the night is young, so I don't know what I'll do just yet. Before we head out on the town, this is the front of the building we're staying in. It is marked as a Civil War building. Got some ghost hunters. We're gonna head down to the Sweeney Tavern, I think. All right. Making our way down Baltimore Street. Again. Walking past the Shriver House. Gonna head over to the Sweeney Tavern, which is just a few doors down from where we're staying. Gonna sit there for a little bit.
Do a little bar banter.
A little bar banter. Frank's thinking about some ice cream, so.
Oh, that was a good dinner, man. That was a good dinner, John.
Well, thank you. I do fancy myself a good cook. So.
Kung Pao chicken with no vegetables.
Yeah. There was vegetable. I had peppers in it. I had peppers in it. All right. Sweeney Tavern. I now find myself in the sanctuary.
He's such an idiot.
Hear the angels sing. All right. After a few drinks at the Sweeney Tavern, we decided to come up to Cemetery Hill.
I love Cemetery Hill.
and just kind of walk and talk and think and go for a walk. Beautiful night now that the sun's down.
Well, there he is.
So, yeah, I don't know what the night holds. So, keep you on standby for right now. All right, we got General Howard behind us. It's good to be back, Frank.
Yeah, Johnny. Really good to be back.
All right. As the sun is completely gone now, it's a little bit darker than the camera portrays. So we're going to go back to the house. Probably will be the end of the night. So, yeah, good day. It was a travel day, so didn't do a whole lot, but at the same time, did a lot.
Yeah, I'm feeling it.
So, all right. Getting
Till
close.
tomorrow.
Yeah, getting close to the house. Not going to sign off just yet.
Of course he's not. Yeah. This may be the last you see of me tonight.
Yeah, he might be going to bed,
I might.
but he's gonna make me some coffee first.
We'll make you some coffee. Maybe dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Deuces.
Yeah. We're fucking famous.
Oh, Frank, this is so much better than a hotel.
Oh my God, I'm home.
Yeah. I don't think I'm ever doing a hotel again.
Not here anyway.
Not here. Well, I think that's going to bring us to the end of the night. Just going to sit. I mean, it's early yet. It's, 9:30? But the house is so nice. We're so comfortable. I think we're just going to relax the rest of the evening. Kind of got an early wake up tomorrow-ish. So, just going to sit and relax for the rest of the night. And then be a little bit more active tomorrow, I guess. So, thanks for watching. Really appreciate all the comments and everything that I've been getting. And if you're in town and you want to see us, and you see us walking around town, don't hesitate to say hi. It'd be kind of cool to meet some of you. But until tomorrow, again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Deuces.
Look at my little bonsai tree. Isn't that cool? I love that little thing.
Dip it.
All right. Good night.
All right.